fundamental skill of exemplary leadership is for the leader to be able to center themselves. By being centered, we mean that you are present, open, and connected. Present to others, present to the environment around you, the situation. Open to possibilities, have a wide range of possibilities that you can entertain easily and with facility. And you're connected to what you care about. You're connected to your ethics, your goals, your purpose, and what's important to you in the world. When we're centered, you develop an increased capacity to build trust with others, listen more deeply to the concerns of others, stay relaxed and focused in conflict and chaos, and you act from your purpose. You act from what you care about, and you have an increased ability to coordinate more effectively with others. In order to keep center, not just a mental idea or a good thing to do, it's important for a leader to develop the practices so that this notion of being centered, present, open, and connected is embodied in them. So the practice is an embodied practice so that when you are in a moment of conflict, you get back to the present moment. When somebody triggers you in a particular kind of way, you're able to stay present inside of that conversation. So let's go ahead and go through a centering practice, and we're going to work through 4 dimensions. These are the dimensions of length, width, depth, and an organizing principle. These 4 dimensions are apparent and evident in every living thing, from a single cell to a giraffe. We have length, we have width, we have depth, and we have an organizing principle or our purpose. So let's begin this way. If you can, stand so you can feel your entire body. If not, sitting is fine. And I want you to bring your attention to your length. This is the human line, is your length. Have your head just above your shoulders above your hips above your knees, and your knees above your ankles. This vertical line. So along this vertical line, we're straightening, and at the same time, we're settling. And by settling, what we mean is to relax the eyes. The eyes are connected to the brain by the optic nerve. If the eyes are rigid or stiff or you're lost in thought, that tension will be transferred through the optic nerve to the brain and will, in a very subtle way, go through the central nervous system. So by relaxing our eyes, our peripheral vision opens. We can both focus straight ahead, but this whole band around the eyes stays relaxed. Relax the jaw, both at the hinge and at the chin. The system is designed, our biology is designed so the teeth never have to touch. Now, let's bring our shoulders up to our ears, take a deep breath, and on the out breath, just let them fall. Do that 2 more times. And consider your shoulder girdle as like being on a coat hanger, that the shoulders can relax down. The system's designed so that the breath happens in the lower abdomen, in the belly. When we breathe high and fast and shallow, that increases our capacity to be anxious. So in centering, we drop our breath. And it's a diaphragm effect, where when you inhale, the abdomen will go slightly out, and when you exhale, it'll come slightly in. Now bring your attention to the pelvic bowl, where there's a lot of tendons, glands, organs, blood, the vessels, and relax those. Relax the sphincter muscles, the genital sphincter, and then the anal sphincter. So we're not tightening the pelvic bowl. Now come down to the legs and let the muscles, the large muscles in the thighs, these are the largest and strongest muscles in our body, let those relax. The system is designed so that it's the skeletal system that holds the mass. In other words, it's the skeletal system that holds the muscular system. So allowing the muscular system to rest on our bones. So in this way, we're both straight and we're settling at the same time. And this is what we call the human line. And in embodied leadership, we call this is the line of dignity. And this is where we start to create our presence from. Now bring your attention to your width. This is the horizontal plane. And here, let's begin in our feet. So you feel balanced in your feet, on both feet. And as you do this practice, if you need to wiggle into the body, just go ahead and do that. You can move your feet, move your hips, let the jaw go, and feel your balance left and right. Now bring your attention up to your knees and feel that the knees are balanced left and right. Bring your attention up to the hips and feel the balance left and right in the hips. So you're not weighting one foot more than another or weighting one side of the body more than another. Coming up to the torso and feeling inside the torso and feeling a balance between your left and right sides. Now to the shoulders. And then up to the head, so the head isn't cocked to one side or to the other. That you can very clearly feel the head is on straight. This is the horizontal plane. And in the horizontal plane, we think of that as being, this is the social plane. This is where we connect with other people. In the vertical plane, we could say that this is the connection between our feet on the ground, being with people, doing our work, and at the same time having a spiritual and moral vision. On the horizontal plane, this is where we are in our social space. And we're making boundaries with some. There's some that we want to become only so close to us. Others we enlarge our boundary to even people that aren't in the room. Loved ones that aren't close to us, but we include here. Now let's go to depth. The depth here is front and back. And let's begin by coming back on our heels. Come back on your heels as if you're a little bit shy, you're a little bit reticent, you're not so sure, you're wondering what I might do next. And now shift your weight to the balls of your feet so you're leaning forward. You're not falling forward, but you're leaning forward. You're ahead of yourself, you're trying too hard, you're maybe a bit aggressive. You're in your head, so your head is leading. Now very slowly rock back and forth, from front to back. And then come forward and then back, and slowly come to this place of equipoise between front and back. And because so many of our senses are in the front part of our body, our eyes, our nose, our mouth, our ears, the tendency is to be ahead of ourselves and to let go or forget about the back body. So let's take a little moment in depth here and fill in your back body. Can you feel the space between your shoulder blades? Can you feel your low back? the backs of your legs. And we can think of this, the back body, as being our history, where we come from, those that have contributed to us, our teachers, our parents, our guides, our list of accomplishments and our competencies in different areas. And we can relax into that back body, and that allows the front part of our body to also relax. We can open the heart, open the belly to the world, because we have this strong foundation of our back. Now in depth, we also say that there is something in our depth that wants to come to form, or striving or yearning or longing to find shape. This may be long withheld joy. This may be long withheld anger. This may be long withheld satisfaction with our lives. This may be this project that you never have let yourself come to or get involved in. So when we're in our depth, we're also thinking about, what is it that wants to come to form? What wants to come to aliveness in ourselves? And we can take that moment and feel that. That's our depth. Now I want us to come back to length. And I'm asking you to take 3 deep breaths. And without lifting the shoulders or engaging the neck muscles, I want you to feel how the rib cage can slowly rise and it can slowly settle back down. That there's this movement in our torso rib cage that also affects the organs. So let's take 3 deep breaths, as deep as we can. Feel, sense, or imagine the rib cage rising, and in the out breath it goes down. Next breath, rising into lifting and a settling. Next breath, a rising and a settling. Now let's go to the rib cage and our width. And let's take 3 deep breaths, and I want you to feel how the rib cage can expand outward. It's almost like a clamshell opening. In this way, our heart can open, and also our back can feel grounded and solid and opening and flexible. 3 deep breaths. Expanding out into the world, releasing, coming back to the center line. Another deep breath, expanding. And back to the center line. And the third time, feeling the rib cage expanding out, and then releasing and relaxing in. Now let's go to our depth, our front and back. So again, without engaging the neck muscles or the shoulder muscles, take a deep breath and feel the rib cage expanding in front of you and in back. So along that line of depth, we're increasing our range. And a second time. And a third time. Now let's take a quick inventory after doing that. Are you in your vertical line? Are you straight? Head's not forward, shoulders aren't slumped, pelvis isn't tilted, knees are soft, So we're straight, and also we're relaxing. It's a dynamic relaxation. And then our width. We're not shifting our weight extremely to one side or the other, but finding balance in our feet, at our knees, at our pelvis, our hip bones, our ribs, and our head. Then in depth, again, we're not far back on our heels, nor are we pushed forward, but we find that balance between front and back. Now I'd like you to take your left hand, and I'd like to put the center of your palm about 2 inches below your belly button. That's the center of gravity. It's a bit shorter, maybe an inch or two shorter. What I mean by shorter is lower in women because of the structure of the pelvis and the spine. But about 2 inches below the belly button is our center of gravity. And I ask you to put your hand there so it's more easy to feel that part of your body. So you drop your attention to the center of gravity. And that's the fourth dimension, the organizing principle. We have also a heart center and an eye center, but let's stay in this belly center for a moment. And we say, this is the center of action. It's the center of balance. It's also the center of will and intuition. And in this way we have a dropped, open attention. It means we can still think rationally, logically, and critically. And our attention isn't running thoughts in our head, but dropped. So when we do these things, we have a attention that's dropped and open, that our breath is rhythmic and deep, and our body's relaxed. It's clinically impossible to be anxious. What anxiety is, according to the Diagnostic Psychiatric Manual, is when we're running repetitive thoughts in our head over and over and over again. There's a low-grade contraction that we have, and the breath is high and shallow and rapid. So one of the great medicines for anxiety is to center yourself. Now what I want you to do is that I want you to put your hand on your heart center, approximately right where your heart is. We know the heart is a little bit to the left, but put the center of your palm right in the middle of your chest. Bring your attention there. This is the heart center, the place of compassion, warmth, goodwill, positive regard, and love. This level of empathy, this level of a grounded compassion is critical for exemplary leaders to have. And now bring your fingers and touch just above where the eyebrows meet. This doesn't mean think about something. It means bring your attention at that place. This is the eye center. This is the place of clear thinking, direct perception, long horizons of time, being comfortable with a mystery, being comfortable with that which we don't know, with the unknown. Now, from this place of length, width, and depth, go inside and think that you can turn all of those centers on. At your belly center, your heart center, and your eye center, as if you're turning a knob or opening all those doors or flipping a switch, so that you're ready for effective action, effortless action, engaging in the will to execute on your promises, that you have a sense of grounded compassion and positive regard for others and those that you lead, that builds trust with them. And your eye center, where you're seeing clearly and you see possibilities and you're open to a great manifold of things that can happen. And internally align those so that at any moment you can call on this aspect of yourself. And from here, from the centered place, say one of your commitments or one of your goals or one of your declarations about life. And say, I am a commitment, for example, I am a commitment to building a strong team. I am a commitment to increasing our sales by 15% this year. I am a commitment to bringing forward and teaching emerging leaders. I am a commitment to having a team and an organization that enjoys working together and are fully engaged. Any one of those examples. You're in your length, your width, your depth. The attention is dropped to the center of gravity, the heart center, and the eye center. If you do this centering practice formally every day, you take some time every day, and you take anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes to centering yourself and being centered, develop that level of mindfulness and attentiveness that over time, that practice will help you embody this capacity to be present, open, and connected. So that then in those times of turmoil or conflict, or that you feel you're thrown off balance, you'll more quickly and more automatically come back to the present moment. This is something that you can practice. This is something that you can ground yourself in. This is something that you can bring forward in your professional and personal life. So as we say at Strozzi Institute, take it easy but take it, and enjoy your centering practice and being present, open, and connected in the world.